Hello everybody, welcome to like the darkest thumbnail ever. Three of the five thumbnails on this are so gray. Fucking edgy now. Anyways, hi everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to some more My Hero Academia. I talked quite a bit in the last redirect about, not quite a bit, but I talked about why this was two redirects and all that. So if you want to know what's going on with that, go to that one. Because in this one, I ain't talking about all that recording and editing nonsense. Today, I'm going to talk about these episodes. I didn't talk about the episodes in retrospect in the previous redirect, because I'm saving that for this one. So let's quickly talk about it. So yes, go in the description, click on the Dailymotion, Google Drive, or BitChute links. Spoilers, the Dailymotions probably won't work because they're fucked up. But feel free to go to those episodes and check them out if you want to watch me watch these episodes. But spoilers ahead for these episodes. I'm about to talk about them and my overall thoughts on them and how I reacted to them in the moment and how I feel about them now. So let's briefly discuss that. Hi everybody, what's up? So yeah, overall, looking back on these episodes, it's been a while since I've recorded them, so I've had quite a bit of time to kind of think about it and whatnot. And I think the number one thing that caught me off guard as I went back to edit these and all that is that I kept, okay, so now that we have Deku in this form, I feel more comfortable fully talking about what I know, because I wasn't sure if what I was seeing was just, extremely out of context. So I briefly mentioned this throughout all of the episodes, that I know that Deku has some kind of edgy arc. And I only know that because, I would be on Twitter and I'd see Deku trending and I would be stupid and click it and see him looking all edgy and I'd be like, what the fuck's going on? I also remembered as I was editing these episodes that I saw a name, and I don't know if I mentioned the name in the episodes themselves, but I saw a name kind of attributed to this Deku, and it was Vigilante Deku. And I think that what's the word? Not inspired, but it led me down a certain path. I had assumed that Deku went out on his own for whatever reason. Something harshly changed in his soul, and he is now a fundamentally different person. Something has changed in his soul, and he is going to be edgier now. Very Hunter x Hunter gone, where something is just different now, and something traumatic happened and has changed him at his core, or at least is blinding what is at his core. And I expected that. So when I got to this point in the show, I was very caught off guard at the fact that Deku is still Deku. He's not this hugely different character. He's not, the circumstances he's in are different, but he is still the same character. He's still Deku. He's still optimistic, and he still is a good person. And from everything I had seen, mainly his design, but also the name Vigilante Deku, which I think was just a fan name. I don't think that was ever officially used, I assume. But from everything I had seen, I had assumed Deku went a bit dark. Not to say he was a villain or anything, but he edged a bit more on the morally gray side. He lost faith in heroes. Something happened to basically turn him into a less extreme Stain. That's what I expected from everything I had, like, seen, which isn't much, but from the bit I had seen, of course I'm going to kind of think about it and think what could lead him to that point. Which is why during the Shigaraki fight, I was so sure that Gran Torino was dead. Like 100% sure. Because I saw him with that fucking scarf, and all I could think was like, oh, dude, Gran Torino is going to die so fucking hard. He is so dead. And then... Oh, my phone. Anywho, like, I was so sure he was dead as a fucking doornail the moment he showed up. But he's not. Like, he lived. But I thought that would be the only thing that could, like, push Deku to that point, is his second mentor dying by Shigaraki, and Shigaraki running away, and Deku being like, we did all this work, all this planning, and we still failed. Heroes can't do it. Heroes are a fucking, like, joke. We can't do it. I have to do it by myself. And I thought that was what was going to push him to go, screw all of my friends, they're a hindrance. And especially when that fight was mentioning, like when Shigaraki was saying to Deku, your friends are getting in the way, like you are dragging them down. I thought that would lead to Deku making the choice for himself, but no, Deku still loves his friends and he still wants to be there for them, but he knows he can't. He knows he can't do that in the current situation because Shigaraki is tracking him and he can't put them in danger. It honestly doesn't even have anything to do with them weighing him down or him weighing them down. Sure, there might be some sort of mental anguish and a bit of self-doubt over that, but it's not the core reason he's doing any of this, which I think is really cool. Because even if Gran Torino died, I don't know if I would have believed it. You know, I really assumed this was going to be a very tough pill to swallow, to imagine Deku going so far to the other side, especially after one fight, which is why I assumed things must go horribly wrong to make such a drastic shift, or I just am not going to like what they do. But no, Deku is still Deku. Yeah, he's running from his friends and he's being a bit more angsty, but even then, he's angsty because he's sad that he has to leave his friends. He's sad that he has to do this, but he knows he has to. He's stressed because of everything going on, because all the weight is on his shoulders, because he's trying to hone his power and make it as good as it can be so that he can protect people, and for putting his mom and All Might and all these people through so much stress. That's why he's so angsty and sad. It isn't because, like, he's brooding. It's because he's in a very difficult situation. But I like that he still relies on people, and I like that All Might and Hawks and all them are still with him, and he still has some connection to his friends. And yeah, his more serious demeanor is really just him not taking it as lightly. But he's still Deku. He, like when he was fighting Muscle Man, he was like still looking at him and going, okay, so I have to do this to beat him, and I'm going to try to talk to him like this to try and trigger this. Like, he's still Deku. He's still overthinking things and trying to find, you know, a peaceful way to end a conflict, but he's also willing to go as far as he needs to end a fight, and he's willing to believe in himself and believe that he can end it if he needs to. It's great. And I'm really glad that the show is able to pull that off, because to briefly compare this to something, it reminds me of Attack on Titan. If you haven't seen the later seasons of Attack on Titan, probably skip ahead 2 minutes or so, but it reminds me of in Attack on Titan when Eren went from relatively optimistic, if not a bit stoic, but still relatively optimistic, to I am going to genocide an entire people. And that shift. And the, like, complete, like, what the fuck happened to this character? The thing is, in that context, there is an answer, and there's a lot of, like, trickery being done, and, like, the author and the show itself is playing with the idea that this is out of character for him to suddenly act like this. Whereas, you know, Deku, I assumed, like, it was going to act as if this was a logical thing for him to do, and he's just getting angsty, you know? Or it would do the same thing, where it's playing with, is he serious? Is he putting on an act? But no, like, it's not as ham-fisted as I expected it to be, and I'm very glad, because I feel like that could have been really, really bad. But so far, I've been impressed. Not to say it's perfect, obviously, and I've only just started, really, like, only the last 2 episodes of these, of this batch really showed Deku in this new form, and if I had to guess, he's gonna be back to being with his friends by season 7, I would guess. I could be wrong, but I'm going to guess that this is just a brief period in his life, which I don't know how he's going to justify going back to his friends when Shigaraki can find him. But if I had to guess, they are going to tell him, we want to be there for you. Even if that puts us in danger, we want to be there for you. That's my guess. And he'll be like, okay, guys, I believe in you. And then All Might and all of them will also say, we believe in you all, just like we believe in Deku, so sure, he can come back, yay, and then there's a big party. That's my guess. I think it would be way cooler if they make up, but Deku also goes, hey guys, I love you all, but I have to go. I can't stay. And they're like, no, Deku, and he's like, thank you, but I have to go. That would be cool. But I don't know. All I know is right now, I'm really loving this season, and I believe at the end of the first batch of episodes, I was talking about how, like, man, it is all downhill from here. Like, we've reached the peak. And no, I mean, like, this is different. It's a very different, situation. But I'm still as invested as I was. I do worry we're going to kind of go off onto, like, side story stuff where, like, because, like, in the opening, you see the girl with the purple hair, and I worry this is just kind of going to be catching a escaped convict arc, as opposed to continuing anything with Shigaraki or any returning characters. Like, I want to know what Compress is up to, because I believe he escaped. What Compress is up to, I want to know what Stain's up to, because he got fucking freed. I want to know, like, I hope we see all of them, and that this is kind of the cleanup arc. Like, I doubt we'll get more of Shigaraki in terms of, like, a fight. I highly doubt that. But I hope we get more than just the purple hair girl before we go back to relative status quo. If we even go back to status quo, but I assume we will at the end of this season. I assume. I could be wrong. I hope I am. Anyways, with that said, one more thing I would like to touch on. And it's actually something I thought I talked about in the episode, but I don't think I did. Or in the previous episodes, but I don't think I did. And it is when Bakugo, I believe this was in the first batch, used his quirk where he, like, exploded a bunch. It's a weird thing to say. But he, like, just fucking blew up and did a bunch of stuff. And there were these little, like, sparks in his explosion. Now, I want to preface what I'm about to say by saying I think that was just to show that he's, like, achieved a new power of explosion because his willpower is greater now, so he can do that. That's my guess. But it did make me wonder if you all recall, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising? It's not Two Heroes. Two Heroes was the first one. Heroes Rising was the second, which I always think is so stupid because I think of the second movie as being two heroes because it's Deku and Bakugo, and I think of that as two heroes, but I think two heroes is the first one, and it's referring to All Might and Deku. Anywho, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, that movie, which I have a Let's Watch of if you want to watch it. In that movie, one of my biggest complaints is how Bakugo randomly gets one for all out of fucking nowhere and then loses it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck was that? It was so stupid. But I can't help but wonder if that little part where he explodes a bunch and there's all these little, like, kind of one for all-esque sparks in him, I just wonder if they're gonna reference that, or if it's just... I wonder if the next time we see him fight, if that effect will stay, or if it was just for that moment to add some kind of, like, spectacle to Bakugo's comeback. That's all. I wonder if all of that was just spectacle to look cool, or if we will see it again. That's the thing I've been hung up on. How seriously should I take those sparkles? Were those sparkles in the manga? Like, when he did that explosion attack, were there sparkles in his explosions, or was that just added for some drama? Because I wonder, let's play imaginary, if One for All, now that I know what it is a bit more, what if Deku was able to somehow share a bit of it into Bakugo, and even though most of it is gone, some of it has been left behind, almost like a Deku echo, much like all of the vestiges inside of it right now. Almost if Deku left a bit of his own in Bakugo, and that has allowed Bakugo to push himself even further. I don't think that's the case. I think it was just for drama, but I wonder. And I wonder if they'll ever mention that, or if it's just something that is never explained, but if you want to think of it that way, you can, but it's never directly said. I just wonder. Anywho, with that said, is there anything else I have to touch on? I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I think I touched on most of it. I'm looking at the thumbnail here. There's Hawks. I don't really have much to say about him. That was a great episode for him when it talked about his mom. Of course, Dabi and all that was great. Yeah, I think I'm good. Okay. Well, I think that's that. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate you being as patient as always, and hopefully we can be back very soon with some more My Hero Academia. For the record, I am recording this on May 18th, which is the day I'm going to put up the first redirect. I'm actually recording this the day the first redirect goes up, and I'm going to edit this for tomorrow, which is today for you if you're watching this the day it comes out. Anyways, I have not recorded anything since this because I didn't want to watch any more of the show without hearing your guys' comments in case I missed anything. So feel free to comment down below on the redirects if I missed anything, or you would like to point anything out, or if you feel I need clarification on some stuff, because I am dumb and there is a very good chance I missed something. But until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next episode of whatever comes next, which will probably be the last session of My Hero Academia, just because I want to wrap this up before I jump into other things. So, with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you very much, and big kisses, and I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go make some more coffee, because I need more coffee. Goodbye, everybody.